this year has just drug on. It's like, it doesn't want to end. It's already the end of September. I mean, wait. It's the end of September. It means tomorrow is October 1st. Yes! Hocus pocus. Excellent. Oh.
Not even October yet. Isn't it a little early?
This is Halloween. And we're walking. Be right back with Nutella. Bye. Love you. I'm so sorry.
Hello, my witches and wizards. This is Professor Rowan, coming to you because we've got a bunch of information that dropped last night about all of the details for happening in October. We're going to go over the calendar first, and then we're going to go over the Wizarding Weekend that is coming up this weekend. But first things first, if you're trying to find werewolves, there are going to be 2 separate opportunities in October, because there are 2 full moons in October. That's right, we finally get ourselves our blue moon. Our first full moon in October is on October 1st, and our last full moon of October is on October 31st. That's right, Halloween also has a full moon, and is on a Saturday. You can't really ask for a better date, calendar-wise, for Halloween, which is, in case you didn't know, my favorite holiday. But if you're out werewolf hunting, those are going to be out on the 1st and the 31st, and usually the day before and the day after as well, because full moon traditionally lasts 3 days, astrologically speaking. But past that, our first event is a Wizarding Weekend. It is a dark arts focused Wizarding Weekend, and I'll be telling you more about that in just a moment. You just need to know now that it runs from October 2nd through October 5th. Our brilliant event for this month is called the Darkness Rising Brilliant Event, and it does seem to be focused, again, October has a tendency to be hashtag Dark Arts Month, and this does not seem to be ending that tradition. That will be running October 6th through October 13th. Then, as soon as that is over, we have 2 community days in a row. We have September's Makeup Community Day, which is happening on the 17th, and then we have October's Community Day happening on the 18th. Each community day, as far as we are aware, is still going to be the 24-hour community day that we've been having recently. And while the one for September is going to be focused on the Ministry, the one for October is focused on the Weasleys, specifically their joke shop. The second part of the Darkness Rising Brilliant event happens almost immediately after that. It will be running from October 20th through October 27th at 11 a.m. my time. I know that's a lot of dates to remember. Just remember 2 community days, 2 brilliant events, 1 Wizarding Weekend. And that Wizarding Weekend is this weekend. Our Dark Arts Wizarding Weekend is going to run from October 2nd through October 5th at 11 a.m. Pacific time, my time zone. There will be a free store pack, which we are kind of getting used to by now, with enough ingredients to brew your own tonic for trace detection, 1 singular Dark Arts runestone, and spell energy. Not a little spell energy, 50 spell energy this time. Your tonic for trace detection, as well as regular foundables, are going to have several Dark Arts boosted on the map. All of those boosted foundables are focused around one particular page in your registry. The Ministry Atrium, back when, the Ministry was overrun. The foundables that will be boosted are the Book of the Magic Most Evil, the Thestral, the Portrait of Voldemort, Percival Graves, and Tom Riddle. Whenever you return any of these traces, you have a possibility of receiving a Dark Arts runestone between levels 1 and 3. Speaking of runestones, since that particular page in the registry has 2 separate foundables that are only available in fortresses, we have a guarantee collection of foundables this time. You have a guaranteed collection of a foundable when going into Forest 4 or higher, and only when using a Dark Arts runestone. Now let's get on to the tasks. There's one specific task that I'm saving for the end because we need to do some math, and I know how much you all love math, or at least I know how much I love math. So we're going to be doing that one last. First off, you need to complete 10 wizarding challenges. Yes, 10 challenges with 3 or more other witches and wizards. That will get you 1 powdered dragon claw. Might I suggest making sure you're doing those 10 in Forest 4 or higher, so you get a guaranteed foundable collection. Next is to defeat 25 foes in wizarding challenges, which, considering that you're going to be doing 10 of them, as well as probably the higher level chambers to boot, I don't see this being a problem. That will get you 6 snowdrop. Next, you need to return the Portrait of Voldemort 25 times. Thankfully, he's going to be boosted. That is going to give you 3 runestones, Dark Arts runestones, all of them level 5. You also need to return 20 of Percival Graves. That will give you 10 spell energy. And 15 of Tom Riddle, which will also give you 10 spell energy. And finally, the one that involves math. You are going to need 2,000. That's right, 2,000. 000. XP of the family XP of Dark Arts. 3 days, 2,000 family XP. That will get you 2 strong Stimulo potions. But let's talk about the math of that real quick, shall we? If, like me, getting the 500 Brilliant Family XP was a bit of a slog, let's compare the math of that. With the Brilliant event that we just finished, if you had not placed the images like I had begged you not to, that means you got a singular additional family XP every time you collected something that you hadn't yet placed. That was called the Max Foundable Bonus. That changed your standard foundables found in the wild, the Brilliant Foundables, from 3 family XP each to 4. But still, if every foundable you're finding in the wild is giving you 4 family XP, that meant that you would have to collect 125 of those foundables. You might say, instead of doing that, I'm going to instead go and do the fortresses because then I get at least 10 family XP every time. But I would like to point out that you're going to be using a lot more energy in the fortresses, and it's not a guarantee. Even if you were able to get every single one done through a fortress, that still meant you would have to do 50 fortresses, which means 50 runestones of the Brilliant family. And I don't know about you, but I haven't gotten to level 50 in any of my Brilliant families. Ever. So I'm not entirely sure how one would be able to do that. The only way I was able to complete Part 4 in time, and granted, I finished it Monday at like 10 p.m., but the only way I was able to do that is by actually collecting the port keys and being lucky enough that one of the port keys gave me a pretty large XP bonus. So considering that collecting that 500 was rather complicated, you can look at this 2,000 and potentially go screaming into the hills. And I understand the desire to go screaming into the hills, but the math on this one is much more better for you than the Brilliant. Let me explain. If you've never placed the Portrait of Voldemort in your registry before at all, so you're still on the very first blank page, you still get 25 Dark Arts Family XP for placing that image. If you're on the silver page like I am, when you place that image, you get 125. So let's say that you've never been to the silver page, you've never seen the bronze, you're still on the original first page. By returning the 25 Voldemorts, you get 175 family XP just for returning the Foundable. And you're going to earn at least 50 for placing them on that page. You can look at the same thing with the Tom Riddles. If you've never placed or seen a Tom Riddle before at all, you still earn 300 family XP for collecting the 15 that you are required to get, plus at least 500 XP for placing the image, because you're going to be placing it at least once. I know it sounds like a lot, but because of the repeat image collection system that we now have, in theory, it should be doable. If you're getting the 10 family XP from using a runestone every time you do a fortress, because you have that guarantee now, and you're doing the 10 fortresses, that's 100 XP right there. All the other Foundables you have to collect, that's well over 1,000 guaranteed minimum family XP. So it is entirely doable, especially if you're focusing on the higher level traces, like Percival Graves and Tom Riddle. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be easy, but doing the bare minimum for all of the other requirements will get you far more than halfway there. Math-wise, you have maybe 200 XP left to collect if you only do the bare minimum on all of those. That's not even counting the fact that you'll be collecting probably some Magic Most Evile, or any of the other ones that don't have a requirement to collect. That said, to help with this, please feel free to collect as many Dark Arts Foundables as possible before the event starts. And remember to not place the image until the event starts, because placing the image gives you that big family XP bonus. Okay, I know that was a lot, and that was a lot of math, and I am sorry for those who I have traumatized by bringing math to this space. I hope you will forgive me. But I do want to point out that the overall rewards for completing the entire to-do list are kind of nice. First off, you're getting 200 more Dark Arts Family XP, which, considering how much you just collected, meh. The part I'm interested is in the 2 Defense Against the Dark Arts textbooks, because those are the bad boys that I need to get to the SOS trainings that I want. You will also get 2 spell books and 1 silver key. So there you have it, my witches and wizards. Some tips and tricks on how to get through this particular event. Remember, October, Dark Arts, so focus on the Dark Arts family. Be willing to use the tonic for trace detection that they give you the ingredients to brew. Remember when you're going into the fortresses to go into Forest 4 or higher. And I will be in Forest 4 or higher on Saturday from noon to 1 p.m. my local time zone. If you have any other ideas on how we can get through this together, please leave them in the comments below. Also, if these videos are helpful for you and the heads up is helpful for you, please like, subscribe, share. It really does help us out. As of when I am filming this, we are 10 subscribers shy of our 300 subscribers goal for the end of this month. And if that happens, when my next video occurs, I will be letting you know about the drawing that we will be doing for the die-cast wand. So if you would like to get into that, please subscribe, share, help us out. Thank you to all of our patrons. You guys make all of this craziness possible. And as always, remember to stay safe. So please, keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and your wands ready.
Well, do you think it's safe to go back in there now? You know, I do really like Halloween. Ooh. You're prepared.
Done this before. After you. You tell her.